Good evening, YouTubers. I'm NixUser1980 and this is PCLinuxOS Mate edition. So let's go and have a look at the main website for PCLinuxOS. We'll just give that a moment to run up. Now, first of all, I'll probably apologise, it's been a bit of a quiet week. Not quite on my end, I've been damn busy, but quiet on the YouTube front. But anyway, let's have a look at PCLinuxOS and see what's going on. So cool, ice cubes are jealous. Let's find out what this distro is all about. So I know a developer named Techstar develops it. I think years and years ago, it might have been forked from Mandrake. Looks like we're getting a little bit of delay there, so let's have a look on the Wikipedia website anyway. Let's have a look here. Yes, I was correct. I didn't even look it up beforehand. Just long-term interest in this subject matter. Maybe think it seems that it's probably based on Mandriva. So anyway, it's a funny old one. It uses apt RPM. Yeah, and the version that we're using here is the Mate edition. So it looks a little bit more classy than a regular Mate edition. But let's take a look through. We've got the menu here. We've got a file manager there, the Kaja one. I think that comes from the Mate desktop, yes. We've got the Mate terminal there. Configure your computer, administration center, Synaptic package manager. They've always liked using Synaptic. It used to be installed on Ubuntu many years ago, the Synaptic package manager, and I also believe it was installed on Debian. Don't know if that's the case now, but it used to be popular. We also have Firefox just here. While we're at it, let's have a look at what version of Firefox we've got. Yep, so relatively recent version of Firefox there. What have we got here? We've got some updates there. It's found 40. Now I installed this about 2 days ago, so that's kind of reasonable. And what's this all about? Network Center. So it's got a funny looking icon there. I'm not sure I like that. That's looking a little weird. We've got, what do we got here? We've got the clipboard manager there. And we've got a volume controller, and just got this calendar here. Things aren't looking too pretty in this corner. It's a little unaesthetic, if that's a word. So anyway, moving on, let's have a look at some of these applications. I haven't done this and prepared first, so we'll take a look at some of the more interesting ones. Databases. Okay, so we've got the LibreOffice very recent version by the looks of it there, 5.1 base. Okay, we've got the icon browser. I don't know if you guys have done base before. Let's have a look at that while we're at it. So, fairly vanilla start there. So you can create a new database based on HSQLDB. So it's a relatively small implementation of SQL, or should I say SQL. You can also connect to an existing database, but I diverge there from the central aim of this. So development, we've got the icon browser there. We can have a bit of a squeeze at that. International, yeah, getting some icons coming up there. Fair enough. What else we got? We've got education, LibreOffice Math, if you like doing some formula and inserting those in your documents, can be very nicely, can appear very nice. So if what do we got? The famous one, E equals MC squared. That looks quite pretty, doesn't it? Hey. So don't save. What else have we got? Emulators. So they've installed VirtualBox, and we've got VBox VirtualBox Manager. What's that all about? Oh, let's I know about VirtualBox, but VirtualBox Manager, I'm not so sure. Okay. Oh, right, so you can just... Right, so there's a little application so you can completely remove VirtualBox. Well, we won't do that. That's cool. For those of you who are a little less familiar with the virtualization solutions out there, I personally use KVM a lot, but sometimes VirtualBox does the job nicely. You can install a virtual machine, so you've got some test distro that you want to run. You can do that. Could be another OS, for example Windows. You could install Windows there, although I reckon you should really stick to the free and open source operating systems if you can, if it fits your use cases. We've got the monitoring there, HTOP, classic HTOP, love the HTOP there, although that's really garish. I recommend using a black background. Case in point here is, let's just bring that up and go HTOP. They really should have just used the Mate terminal there to do that, so I disagree with that configuration. Looks very pretty, doesn't it? Better than that normal top. Just to compare that against top, while we're at it, we did top and new terminal and HTOP. I know which one I'd want to be using. There could be some reasons for using that. Maybe you want to do some easy parsing of the output, I guess. So close that. Next. So I think we've pretty much closed that out. We've got the terminals there as well. It's kind of interesting too that they had education, they had 5.1 math, and then sciences they have that as well. I don't really like that when there's double ups in menus. You should be able to remember, yes, my program is in this category, not be sort of thinking that it's in multiple categories and then that chocks it up and you're trying to find it amongst other categories. No, that's not my thing, so I disagree with that. Mate system monitor net applet, yeah, again that's that thing down here, but it's not looking pretty there. It's kind of replicating itself over the panel, and this is not in line, so that's a little ugly. Anyway, moving right on, let's have a look. We've got an archive ngrampa. That's a bit weird. I personally haven't come across that one before, but fine. It's part of the Mate desktop, so probably the old archiving tools for GNOME have moved across to Mate. Simple burn. Looks pretty reasonable, but no, nothing there about verification or anything like that by the looks of it. No. You can extract in video. Fine. Seems to be a fairly comprehensive program. I'm not going to try it out today. See this? I really don't like that either. The application menu looks really weird. So we looked at the archiving bit. Documentation, have a look at that. Editors. They've got a PDF editor here. What can it do? Wow. Not registered. About free for non-commercial use. So we're including proprietary software here. Not sure I agree with that. Mind you, if you're talking about mastering your own PDFs, it's really just a matter of like going into LibreOffice and clicking the PDF tool, and you can export your documents as PDF. They come out really lovely. So I'm not sure I agree with this. I don't know. It's one of those iffy ones. I wasn't warned about it, I guess, in the installer. I don't think I was. Maybe I was. But yeah, Pluma text editor. What's that about? Okay. Lightweight text editor for Mate desktop, fine. Personally, gedit, it probably is gedit in disguise, I'm not sure. I personally use Vim. Recommend you try it. Kaja file manager, I spoke about that down here. But yeah, you can just bring up the file manager, and I don't mind so much mind the icon, so it's just a few weirdness bits and pieces in it. Some of it looks clean, some of it not. But yeah, and I guess the beautiful thing about Carjo is you press the F3 button, it still does split pane, which I kind of really like, because you can just copy one document into the other just like that. It's kind of easy to use if you don't want to use the command line. Disk usage analyzer, look, I'm sure we'll give that a break. What's this? Let's have a look. Games. Pi Solitaire. Hasn't been updated in a while, but fine. And yeah, you can play yourself a little bit of a solitaire game. Anyway, enough of that. We didn't come here to watch me play solitaire. Okay, graphics, actual document viewer. Some of these applications I haven't heard of before, really weird. Is it part of Mate? Yeah, it's events, but it's now called actual. Fine. Not sure if that's really required, to be honest. I mean, sure, if Mate has it, I suppose you can use it, but I have Mate, that's EOG but EOM now, so you can look at your images, nice and cool. I wonder if we press print screen if we'll get ourselves a nice picture. Yep, we do. We'll save that for later, put that on the YouTube website a little bit later. GIMP. So GIMP 2.8, it's got a funny look to it rather than the normal startup theme. That's fine. I always wonder when they're going to make it so that you could view GIMP in one whole screen. I wonder if there's a way of doing that. Hide single window mode. Ah, lovely. I like it. I was wondering, I've never really looked around for it until now, but that's how you do that. Fine. That makes me want to use GIMP again. Image Magic. I love Image Magic. When I have to convert my thumbnails, very nice just to take the big file that I have and just convert it to 720 by 480. I recommend having a look at that. Actually, let's run that up. Does it do anything? Okay. Okay, so it's sort of old school style X based program. I use the command line versions of the applications. Draw, yeah, again. I don't like this dark theming here. It doesn't really suit LibreOffice well if you're not going to update the icons to suit. So, yeah, not sure I agree with that. We've looked at that before. Again, this is the double up on the... I mean, why is that particularly a graphics program? I'm not entirely sure. To me, it's not really a graphics program. It's a document editing tool. Mate color selection. So can I... Oh, okay, so I can just choose a color and it'll give me the hex value then, and we can copy it. What else? We just took a screenshot before. Fine. Internet. Okay, more proprietary software. Dropbox. Again, starting to include applications by default that the user might not necessarily need nor want. So yeah, let's have a look here. Internet, Firefox we saw before, Network Center. So we've got that. We've got this network configuration tool, and I don't know what I saw before. More applications, configuration. I saw it before. Not sure where. There we go. Net applet. So. Oh. I was thinking that it might come up with the second application, but it doesn't look like it is doing that for now. We've got Pigeon. Let's add an account. We'll go to Google Talk. Go next user 1980, and we'll put our password in. Please don't try and guess my password. No, I won't be remembering it. Give that a tick, and Mr. Nick's user himself is online. So that works nicely. I wonder if it's got Finch installed by default. Let's have a look in the terminal. And it has Finch. That's a really nice touch, installing Finch by default. So that's a plus. Because there are some people out there who might want to use Finch. BitTorrent. I tend to use rtorrent because you can use it on the command line even if you haven't got X. I just find this funny how they include that notification about. Yeah. Again, not my cup of tea. This dark theming, it's horrible. Look at it. You can't see things. No, that's horrible. The user should not have to. I'm sure that there's a way of changing the themes, but again, I'm not sure I totally agree. But let's just see what happens there if I've changed that theme now. BitTorrent, somewhat more bearable, and definitely actually a lot more bearable. So they're telling me the default theme can't display basic menu options at all, and now the theming is looking really out of it. So I'm going to just change it back to the theme that it had before. Okay, I think that was it. But oh, okay, the theme doesn't want to change completely. Green submarine, maybe it was this one. No, maybe it was that one. Custom. So it's not changing. The thing I'm looking at here is it's not changing the main menu now. So buggy theme management there. Thunderbird, we all know about Thunderbird. Office, complete set of we saw this before. Again, this is the double duplication stuff going on. We've got a cross-platform password manager. Let's have a look at that. So yeah, you can add your passwords to that if you trust them. I think they're better off in your head if you can try and remember all your passwords. We've got the whole LibreOffice piece there. Again, we've got the master PDF edit. I think that's what 3 times I've seen it now. Mate calculator, kind of, but it's also kind of some sort of accessory. So yeah, Mate dictionary. Again, that's all that about. Yeah, dictionary, and you can just my usual one, type chess, lob chess, and right at the bottom should be definition, a game played on a chessboard by 2 people, 2 persons, people, not sure which one's correct. Okay, and another thing too is I'm not sure if there's anything underneath that. Looks like there's not. So dupe clean GUI, clean out dupe with RPMs. Not entirely sure why that needs to be there. LibreOffice Manager. Looks like we'll be able to delete LibreOffice. Let's have a look. Again, yeah, it's one of those things like VirtualBox, where you can delete things. Localization Manager. How about we just remember that password this time, hey? We'll save in this session. Okay. Okay, fine. No, I'm not going to do that. So it looks like you can change your locale and it's going to affect everything. Qt update notify. So yeah, I think we just basically saw the update manager before starting. It probably can't get access. It's probably going to lock on the database, on the package management database, so we won't bother with that. Synaptic Package Manager, let's see if that will run. Do we end up getting PCLinuxOS? No, the PCLinuxOS website didn't come up. That's kind of disappointing. Okay, so Synaptic's playing dice, but this application over here, okay, it was playing, just didn't seem like it. So check for updates. See how that comes up. Oh, okay, so it's really the same application that we saw here. Alright, So what else we got? VirtualBox Manager, we saw that before. You got your sound stuff, Pulse Audio Volume Control, Google Play Music Desktop Player, an Electron wrap-off. And okay, let's start that. That's an unusual one. Okay, let's go. Okay. Please don't try to guess my password. So, yeah, okay, so you can just try that for 30 days or whatever. I'm not going to do it. I have no need for that. Not interested. Other people might be. Clementine, look at the music player. I think we can pretty safely close Firefox now. And you can just add some music files to that. It's built on Qt. Which is kind of a strange choice in a way, since this is basically about Mate. They don't seem to have Rhythmbox in here, or Banshee or something like that. GDK based application. MKV info, okay. What's that all about? No file loaded. Nix tool. So it looks like you can do a little bit of editing of MKV files. That could be very, very useful. I can see that. I think I've heard of this before, where if you want to merge some MKVs, you might be able to do it that way. I'm not sure. VLC media player. Look, you know, everyone loves VLC. I'm a bit hesitant with it these days. Tend to like to use the MPV MPlayer clones out there. So that's alright. People like to use it. Let's have a look at what version. Yeah, I think it's the most recent version, that WeatherMax one. Voco screen recorder, not using that now. As you can see over here, and I should hide the magic, using FFmpeg to record this at the moment. So, you know what, guys, I've had a bit of a look-see here. This is just a bit of a rundown. I'm going to tell you a little bit of background as well. I tried to install it, had an error the first time. It even said it was going to do it in UEFI mode, which I was pretty happy about, but it didn't successfully achieve it, and it looked like it had a corrupted partition, GPT partition arrangement. So yeah, I reinstalled it. I actually manually set it to MS-DOS file system, but that's the partition type, and it fixed it when it reinstalled, but I think it's still able to boot off of the UEFI. Anyway, basically this is a bit of a mixed bag. This is definitely not the most polished Mate experience I've ever had, and it has a whole mixed bag of applications. Some of them are proprietary, some of them not. I really don't like giving negative reviews. It has a beautiful wallpaper, but I can't really recommend it. There's just too much inconsistency. The desktop plays silly buggers when you change the theme. This is sort of playing silly buggers here. It could be my graphics card, but seriously, I have no issues with my graphics card these days on any modern distribution except for this one so far. So as I said, I'm afraid to give negative reviews, but for the new user coming along, and I think that's really what PCLinuxOS is really aiming at. It's meant to be easy to use and configure. This unfortunately is, I think it's barely a pass. It's a 5.5. 5.5 out of 10. I hate doing that. I really regret it, and I'll hope that they improve it. But for users out there who are looking for an easy to use choice, there are other options, and I don't see PCLinuxOS at this stage being, at least the Mate edition, being a compelling offer. So I should take a look at some of the other offerings out there, but as I say, not my favourite. Anyway, guys, please comment, and if you like this video, like, and if you'd like to see more of this content, subscribe. It's been nice to present this to you. Thank you for your time, and good night.